Alright, good to see you guys. Power again. We still in the chapter of number 2, which is science and technology. And today I'm going to cover the rest other two topics that we have left. And one of them is the interaction of science and technology. This topic I will cover on the roles of technology on changing the environment, vice versa, which is the role of environment on shaping technology. They are interact to each other. Before I go anywhere further, the relationship between environment and technology, you are supposed to understand a little bit on the meaning of the environment itself. I bet that you can read through it that environment is such as the sum of total of all surroundings, circumstance of a living organism, including natural force and other living things, which provide conditions for development and growth as well as a danger and damage. This is the meaning of the environment. On the other hand, the environmental technology, the meaning of it is such a device, materials, or any kind of techniques that employ in pollution prevention, reduction, and containment. Now, if we take a look at the roles of the technology on changing the environment, especially in Thailand, here are the lists that you can see that once we have really advanced technology like mining and aquaculture, these two have directly impact on the environment because to do the mining you have to cut the surface area. Sometimes you have to break the mountain, and for aquaculture you have to dig a big hole to the soil surface, and that causes a lot of problem to the environment as well. Secondly, overuse or heavy use of the chemicals that can cause a lot of health issue. The expansion of industrial area that keep going and going, that kind of cause the deforestation. Right now we have the number of the forest for the total of Thailand. We have only 30%. That's all. And waste increase as advancing technology, and this is the thing that some of the garbage that non degradable, this is something that we have to come up with some idea to produce something that can be degradable, maybe by microbes or some other method that can clean it up after all. Otherwise we keep collecting waste over and over from time to time. Even environmental technology itself can bring adverse effect to the environment as well. For instance, like you plan to have a really good dam to maybe preventing from flooding or kind of that, but then you have to cut a lot of trees to create a dam as well. So this is something that you guys gotta know that once we talk about the environmental technology, sometimes we have to think about the trade-off things that you have to exchange. Otherwise, you know, nothing can happen anyway. So keep in mind that you have to think about that. Have to trade off some of the other stuff just to make our life better and better. Technologies can develop weapons. This is one thing that you probably heard about that. Technologies are all not bad, just keep in mind, but overusage of them does. Absolutely. So the later phase over here, just want you guys to think about that as well, because it's not just the technology itself. Like you all have cell phones, right? Some of you probably overuse cell phone that can cause a lot of problem, right? But if you think about, you can use it wisely and maybe have some job based on your cell phone, or you can do all the work, arrange meeting and everything, maybe organize something by using just a cell phone as well. So the problem is not come from itself, but it's overused kind of thing, pretty much. Now, take a look a little bit on the environmental technology. Here are the character of the environmental technology, where it's some sort of tracing to discover the cause of the pollution by investigating the way in which it has developed. a problem investigation to diagnose the root cause of the problem itself. This is some kind of a mechanism perspective that where you will find which factor will involve the most, and then you can manage that factor effectively. And last one is monitoring, that you can describe the process and activity that need to take place to characterize and monitor the quality of the environment. Now 2.42, the role of environment on shaping technology. This is vice versa. So that means the environment itself can change the technology we have as well. Based on if you heard about, we like to survive in some country, like I think I give some example already previously. Like if you have to use the seawater, make them fresh first and then watering the plant. That means you need it to survive, right? So that kind of drive technology development to change from seawater to fresh water. That is, I would say, need to survive drives us to have a lot of a high level advanced or whatever technology that's really helpful. Uh, Additionally, as the environment becomes a very important issue now today, we develop technology to deal with this chain reaction, right? Something like elimination. We have a problem right now. We have waste everywhere, and we have to get rid of them. And most of them come from, overuse of technology as well. We gotta do some recycling and everything. So the more advanced that we have in technology, the more ways that we have to concern about, and we have to do something. And also, at the beginning of creating some sort of plastic and everything, maybe it would be useful as well if we can replace with degradable kind of thing that kind of friendly to the environment as well. Ideal to be at the sustainable level is to use appropriate technology. This is the keyword, that you can um, use the indigenous technology that you already have way back in the past, kind of like adapt it, improve it to improve technology, and also transfer from abroad, that we call transfer technology. We have to use it wisely. That's the key part. Uh, Appropriate approach is probably the best to take advantage of the technology, and without causing any environmental issue as well. All right, 2.5, which is the technology and environmental impact. Like I said, just so you know that uh, in the handouts that I give you, the whole handout, this topic is probably 2.6, but you gotta make it the right the topic that I think I will cover a lot in this class, and I really think that the technology and environmental impact is really important, that you have to focus a lot, for your study in this class. And in this topic, we have two topics in here: global impact, global environmental impact, and Thailand environmental impact. I will focus more on global environmental impact. First of all, ozone depletion in the atmosphere. This is a problem where we have a lot of technology going on. We keep losing the ozone. This is the diagram showing you that the ozone depletion is occur pretty much at the Antarctica here. That's what we worry. Like you have a big hole where the ozone is gone. Ozone is really important, and we better keep them in the place. And here are the list of the reason why we have the ozone depletion in the atmosphere. First of all, CFC, or chlorofluorocarbon. This is a stuff that we have been used a lot way back in the past. If they got activated by UV, ultraviolet ray, which is in the wavelength of 280 to 320 nanometer, that such UV ray can cause the CFC to produce this guy, which is the you can say it's look like chlorine, right? But then this one is really important one because it is some kind of a free radical that can activate the chain reaction, because this guy can uh, break down the ozone and change from ozone to the oxygen, and this happen like in a chain reaction, so it just keep going, so eventually ozone will get destroyed more and more. Okay. Second one is a jet aeroplane fly through the stratosphere. This can cause a nitrogen oxide that can break down the ozone as well, and eventually you will have nitrogen dioxide. And this gas can create nitric or nitrous acid, which is a part of the acid rain that will cover a little bit later. Atomic bomb in the atmosphere, of course. Heavy uses of nitrogen fertilizer, as we'll come back to this route again. And methyl bromide, this one already banned in 2000, in the year of 2000. Methyl bromide is it's kind of the same with the CFC, because the bromide can be activated as well, and then bring about the free radical that can activate the chain reaction of breaking down the ozone as well. I'd like you guys to take a look a little bit here. This is kind of pretty old document, but it's very useful. Even the unit here, you're probably not familiar when we use the wavelength as a unit of the micrometer. Actually, it's supposed to be a nanometer nowadays, but you can make a comparison here, like 100 nanometer here and a 400 nanometer over here. Anyway, the UV or ultraviolet ray actually can divide it into 3 different types. You have UVA here, which is the longest wavelength, least energetic. UV radiation can cause some damage to living cells, of course. It's not affected by stratospheric ozone transmit to the Earth. It's not that bad for UVA, but UVB, yes, it does. The intermediate wavelength in this for this guy, UVB, damage to the living things with a normal condition most is absorbed by stratospheric ozone, and that can cause the depletion of ozone, lead to significant increase of UVB reaching to the Earth even more, and this is the ozone problem. But for UVC, it's kind of different, because when you think about UVB kind of destroy the ozone, can cause the ozone depletion. This one can produce the ozone actually for UVC. So UVB and UVC have different function. All right. Now take a look in the impact according to the ozone depletion. First of all, for the plant, it's been reported that UVB can reduce photosynthesis reaction. Now, if something have a really impact on the plant, which is a big community where you have food, fibers, and everything from them, then it's kind of cause some other animal, including human beings like us, into a big trouble. All right. And it's said that monocotyledon has less effect from UVB than the dicotyledon. This is a plant species kind of thing that get the effect differently according to the UVB. Increasing UVB induced changing of plant variety and proportionality. Okay. Now for impact for human health, here's I'm not gonna read this name. This is the disease relevant to the skin problem, including the skin cancer as well, that can get the effects after you got the ozone depletion, because the UVB is just right away on the earth and then just right on your skin. The problem solving in the ozone depletion, one of the most important is they agree according to the United Nations to ban CFC in the year of 2000, and recently use some other stuff. And artificial ozone curtain has been made to substitute the depletion plot one. So right now it's not, if you talk about the ozone, if that keep growing, the big hole and hole, no, right now it's kind of like, we did something that can protect our Earth already. So it's not like, the hole is not like that big anymore any longer. All right, the second one, besides the ozone depletion, we do have the problem from the acid rain, which is really toxic one. where you have the air pollutants consists of the sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide. This is totally acid precursor. With water, you can create the sulfuric acid and nitric acid, and that can cause a lot of problems because once it's on the ground, on the lake, on the plant and everything, or even some sort of buildings or monuments that can cause a lot of problem, especially once those buildings and monuments made of calcium carbonate. So it's just produce a lot of gas, carbon dioxide after you have calcium carbonate and the acid reaction. How acid rain take place? So many direction. First of all, you have nitrogen oxides here that can change to nitrogen dioxide, and eventually with water you can create nitric acid and nitrous acid. Also, for sulfur dioxide, it's kind of the same with oxygen first, and then you have sulfur trioxide. With water, you can create sulfuric acid, and this happens right at the atmosphere after you have the precursor one here. And here is the place where the little dot over here is the sort of the acid precursor. And now this is a whole area that really sensitive, that get the impact from the acid precursor. This is the North America continent. Now, impacts of the acid deposition, first of all, is acidification of the lakes. This is fresh water we have, so that means your pH is getting lower and lower, and that can change of the population, can cause death of a lot of animals. And I will have a photo that's showing to you guys that all those animal aquatic ecosystem will change a lot, and those animals kind of like have get the effects according to the pH getting lower and lower. Effects on the park and wilderness area, effects on the aquatic ecosystem, I already said that. Damage to the recreational resources, of course, and forest damage, crop damage, this is agricultural kind of thing. Damage to materials, impact on soil microbes, and new acid rain threat. This is the example. See that the nose of the monument here get destroyed by the acid rain. See that? Compare with the past. After acid rain have a reaction with the calcium carbonate over here, it's just destroy everything, including your housing, and buildings and every kind. Here is the see that environmental challenges. You have ozone depletion, acid depletion, and global warming. This is a part of it. This is our various kind of animals, insects, fish, and lizard, even mussel over here. You can see that after pH getting lower from 6.5 down to 6, 5.5, 4.54, and 3.5. You can see that the number of the animal will get lower and lower according to the pH getting lower. And you can see which one is the more sensitive one, and that is mussel. So mussel can be a really good indicator, natural indicator, telling you that the water pH is not quite good. Because if it changes just a little bit from 6.5 to 6, from 6 to 5.5 is gone. So some of these animals are really good indicator, biological indicator that can tell us about the environment. Problem solving in the acid rain, we have to decrease quantity of sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide in the atmosphere, and this is major what should I say, from time to time, from the factory plant, and also from the traffic, crowded city. This is can create the acid precursor like this. But I would say that all the factories or plants have to make sure that the gas that they release is just water vapor, not something like sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide. Of course, we have to do liming to lift up the pH, because acid rain can cause the acid soil as well. Induce animal resistant variety like change. Plant type selection for plantation. Clean energy utilization. This is all kind of way to solve the acid problem. Just so you know, we have some other problem as well, but greenhouse effects, right? Have you get the idea of the greenhouse effects, like where you know, it's just like when you do work in the greenhouse made of glass overall, and that kind of like when the light coming through, it's just stuck all the heat inside, that kind of thing that causes global warming. And a part of the greenhouse effects is a greenhouse gas that we produce after we overuse technology we have. And another thing that causes a lot of problem in terms of global environmental impact is the desertification. In other words, you expand the arid land more and more by cut off a lot of trees. That's things, or get the fire to the forest, something like that. Oil spill and contaminants to the ocean. That's a part of our environmental issue. For Thailand, of course, we do have the number of the population increase. The rapid of industrial growth create higher non-degradable waste, especially plastic that we have now today. It's good to hear that now today we have to stop using it. Or like all of us have to keep in mind that we do it for our own sakes, our next generation, our nation, our world, that we got to do it together. So you know, like thing that you can do easily is that like you buy a coffee, you bring your own cup, your own mug. That would be best. And even awesome if you don't use any plastic store. That kind of like kind of change our behavior and then make our world better. The third one is rapid city growth, creating building and road block the water flow. This is a part of the city growing uh, more and more, and then eventually water flow will get uh, screwed, and that can cause a flooding situation as well. And the last one is the heavy consumption on the natural resource and forest create the drastically decrease of forest area. Like I said at the beginning, that right now the number is lower than 30% of the total area. Alright, so that's pretty much all for my section. And again, I like to encourage you guys to read through the whole chapter, especially the these two topics, especially the 2.5, or in the chapter that would be 2.6. Anyway, stick to the environmental impact. That's really important that we have to keep in mind. Like after we have advanced technology, what gonna cause when we overuse them. So that is the key of my section. And hope you guys can do the exam and get really good score. And we'll see you around. And if you have any trouble with the materials, trying to understand stuff not quite good enough, and you have some other question and concern, just let me know. We have Google Classroom, so just keep me posted, and I'll try to contact you. All right. Otherwise, uh, let's cover it up. And good to see you all, and see you guys sometime later. Bye bye.